Alright, so this video, as you can't tell from the title, is all about the cinematic universe between DC and Marvel, where I feel they're going right or where I feel they're going wrong. Let's start with DC. So there's a couple DC shows. CW, the channel network, has really been stepping it up as far as putting out great DC universe TV shows. Arrow was a big hit, even though, in my opinion, some of the seasons have been kind of going up and down. A lot of people actually didn't like it when it first came out because they didn't like he was called the Arrow, not the Green Arrow. It was Darling City, not Star City. You know, CW basically was trying to put their own twist on the heroes. Like they were supposed to do a Wonder Woman show called Amazon and stuff of that nature. And I guess they couldn't come up with a clever name for the Flash, so they just called him Flash. So that was kind of the big thing, but people realized that, like, well, the movies are doing great, TV shows are, you know, let's see what they can come out with the TV show. So they came out with the Arrow, and for the most part, it was a great hit. It stayed up there with all the ratings, and so they decided to do a spinoff, and we get the Flash. And Flash, to me, is my favorite one out of all the DC Universe shows. That's the one I stick to. That's the one I watch the most. And that's the one I look forward to seeing. Now you got some other channels like Fox is doing their own stuff with Batman called Gotham. You follow Detective Gordon, and Bruce Wayne is still really young. It's basically how it all built up to Batman. And then of course Supergirl just came out. I haven't caught any of it, and honestly I don't want to. From what I've seen from the 10-minute clips and 8-minute clips, this and that, it looks absolutely like garbage. It looks like, farther along the lines of those chick flick shows and stuff. And I'm not saying a female lead role can't be a good superhero show, but they could have picked something better. So Wonder Woman could be a good show, or not Wonder Woman, but Supergirl could be a good show. It just, to me, it's, I don't know, maybe it's the character that they want to portray. Maybe it's just she's a young girl, so you got to kind of play on that. But for me, it just doesn't work. She's a sideline character. She's second string. She's not the star lead role character. That goes to Superman, Flash, Batman, stuff of that nature. And those are the people who should have their own show, and these other people should have sidekick roles in it. So when you throw kind of a sidekick into its own show, to me it just doesn't work. It's not what we need. It just doesn't work for me. But that's just me. Other people may love it. The ratings may be great. I don't know. I haven't checked. But that's just my opinion. These are just my thoughts and my opinions. How the DC affects the TV shows affect the movies. They don't. They've recast the Flash. Said it will be a different Flash. It won't be the same Flash. Arrow has even been nodded at as far as a movie. Obviously Gotham is not going to fit with Suicide Squad or Batman vs. Superman. Superman is actually supposed to make a guest appearance on Supergirl, but I don't think they're giving it to Henry Cavill. I don't think they're going to ask him to do it, which means they're not going to tie it into the movies. Now, this is why I feel like DC's always been trailing Marvel as far as the cinematic universe. They're just now starting to put out movies when Marvel has been putting out movies. So they're trying to play the catch-up game, and they're rushing everything. You have a great foundation built with The Flash. You have a great foundation built with Arrow. Use them. They're both great actors. They play their characters really well. Use them in the movies. Tying that universe into Superman, into Batman, not just links them, but it's going to cause the people that go see the movies like, oh, so these guys were in the shows or in these shows. Maybe I should watch the shows to see how it builds up to the movies. And that's, to me, that's money. That's because you're going to get ratings from the show. People can go out and buy the seasons just to see how it fits in with the movies, and the vice versa. You want people who've been watching the shows. Oh, he's going to be in the new Batman movie. I got to go see it. Especially if they like that character but don't care for Batman, that gets more people in there to see Batman, to see Superman, whatever. You got to have that connection. Even though I know television is different from movies, but building that bridge there, that to me, that's only the positive. That can only be positive. And I think is there any more DC? Oh, Constantine was DC. I mean, but there's Constantine's for DC, and there's also a Constantine for Marvel too. But obviously, Constantine just crossed over into Arrow, so I don't know if you saw that. That was kind of cool. Stepping to the other side of the field, in my opinion, the winning side, because that's the side that always has the lead, who's been making moves and is watching DC try to catch up and laughing all the way to the bank. Marvel started its movies before the shows came out. And so when they said S.H.I.E.L.D. was getting its own television show, I was like, okay, we get more of a special agent, drama type show. And I was really excited. Now, it didn't do too hot because it's not what people expected. People were expecting that the special agent, the James Bond style, S.H.I.E.L.D. The great thing about the show was, because it even though it started off bad, I feel like it ended strong, and it only got better the next season. And this coming season is going to be great too, in my opinion. What was great about this show is they built that bridge. It connects straight into the Marvel movies. It talks about the incident in New York. It talks about Winter Soldier. It crosses that. Now, if we can just get some more of those main characters into the TV show, and some of the show guys have been in the movies, but keep them crossing, that only expands that universe and gets more people wanting to watch it. The only reason I stuck with the S.H.I.E.L.D. is because they mentioned the movies, and I want to see if they mentioned more. And as it went along, it did mention more and more. And it's going to tie into an even bigger picture when it becomes the Infinite Wars 1 and 2. It's gonna be even bigger because they are building up to that point. Now, whether they take the heroes, they call them Inhumans, but according to comic books, they're not Inhumans. Even though they're trying to mix those two. That's where the comic books and the shows begin to separate. And how I said that it's a different universe. It's a whatever universe. It's separate from the comic books because they kind of mix in Inhumans with, I believe they called them Secret Agent or Secret Humans, or it's something. It's something Nick Fury started up when he realized that these aliens were invading secretly into S.H.I.E.L.D., the government, this or that. So he put together a group of individuals that had all special skills. It was like Quake, she's in it, and a couple other ones that become these S.H.I.E.L.D. agents with powers who help the Avengers when the Avengers don't even realize they needed help. So S.H.I.E.L.D. stepping up. I really like it. The bridge is great. Moving on to the Netflix side. I think it's great Netflix got so many exclusive rights to start making these shows. The only problem is not everybody has Netflix, so not a lot of people are being able to see how great, Daredevil with Jessica Jones is. I'll start with Daredevil. I did a review on Daredevil. I wasn't too impressed. There were some things that I didn't like. Like I found myself skipping scenes because I hated the interaction between certain people, or I just hated the acting in some people. I'd rather guess what was said than actually have to sit there and watch them open their mouth. Which is really bad for a show and bad for an actor. But that's just how I felt. These are just my thoughts, my opinions. Going into... the fight scenes were awesome in Daredevil. I think they were some of the best fight scenes since Winter Soldier. They were on point. I'm excited for that second season of Daredevil because they're going to bring in the Punisher, one of my favorite characters. They're bringing in Elektra, which honestly I could care less about. But the fact they're bringing in Punisher, it's going to make this very interesting. They got the guy that played Shane in Walking Dead. I also made a video about that. And I'll try to link those below if I remember. But, so, the guy was a solid actor. I feel like he could bring that rugged, ex-Special Forces to the thing. There are characters that are crossing over from Daredevil to Jessica Jones, and it'll be bouncing back and forth, which is great because you build that connection in that universe. Jessica Jones, I just did a review on that. I won't go too much in detail, but the show was better than I thought than Daredevil, even though the action scenes weren't that great. Now, if we can only combine those two, get the positive out of both, it'd be amazing. So not going into lots of Jessica Jones, even though they did mention the incident, all that stuff. They mentioned all that. So it builds that bridge, like I've said before, that I really want to see. Luke Cage is getting his own. They're talking about Luke Cage getting his own show. My opinion on that is we don't need it. You can place Luke Cage in with Jessica Jones and go from there. If you want to change the name of the show to both their names, I don't care. Jessica Cage. Whatever. But he's such a big role in Jessica Jones that you don't need to see him in his own show. To me, that's a waste when that funding could go to so many different things. And, okay, so Iron Fist got his, what's it called? Iron Fist was supposed to get a show. And I guess, okay, from what I understand, from what I read, the secret identity of Iron Fist, he actually owns the law firm that Jessica Jones works with to get the stuff she needs and jobs and whatnot. That's what I heard. I don't know how true that is. Anyways, Iron Fist was supposed to get his own show. That's kind of been squashed. I don't know the reasons behind it. I think it was they just couldn't find like common ground or on ideas or anything like that. So that, I think for the most part, that is said and done. They were talking about doing a what was it? A couple of other heroes. I'm just gonna put this out there right now. I don't want to see Spider-Man in a TV show. I feel like he is way too big to have his own TV show. Would people watch it? Hell yes. People would watch the hell out of it. But he's too big of an icon. And they still haven't even in the movies, they have not portrayed him as he is in a fan's eyes. The fans see him as this. I'm not a big Spider-Man fan, but you look at Spider-Man, you see hope, you see, you see everything you want in a superhero. He's basically Stan Lee's, in my opinion, Stan Lee's best character he's ever came out with. Even though I'm not a big fan of Spider-Man, that's just my thoughts. So he's too big for a TV show. Don't put him in one. There are so many smaller characters, especially with around Luke Cage, Spider-Man, that deserve their own show, that could get their own show. Honestly, the X-Men could have their own show. It really could be done because they cannot portray it to save their lives. Oh, excuse me. To save their lives on the big screen. Eventually, I do hope that Marvel gets back the rights to X-Men, Deadpool, all that stuff. Because the fact they even sold them off to me was ridiculous. It was It shouldn't have happened. My opinion. Just my opinion. But let me know what you guys thought. Subscribe, comment, like below. Right now, Marvel's on its game. It's putting out the right shows to link into the right movies. DC needs to really take some notes, and it's not too late to start off, but you don't need to rush into it. You don't need to be thrown in 1,000 characters. DC's already talked about adding the Canary in one of the movies. We don't need it. We really don't. They've jam-packed Batman vs. Superman already. Too many rumors are going around that I think Suicide Squad might actually fail. Slow down, DC. Slow down. You could take your time with this stuff. Batman vs. Superman needs to be built up into 3 movies. I discussed that once before. Start adding in smaller characters. When you do a Justice League film, start off with 7 characters. 7. Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman. Get the kid from the Flash TV show, for the love of God. He's perfect. Who else should we... Martian Manhunter. That'd be a great film. Green Lantern. You know, there. 7. Bam. 7. Start with 7 movies. One about each. You already did Superman. Do a Batman. Not that we need it. Do a Flash. You know, all that stuff. Do those movies. Justice League film. And then start bringing in Cyborg for his own movie. These little things here and there. All the way up till you do Justice League 2. And then you got those guys. You don't need to just bum rush and throw everybody in hoping it's going to work, because I really feel like that's how they're doing. Anyways, comment, subscribe, like, all that good stuff that's right here below. I'll try to put those links in there for you. Thanks for watching.